What should you look for when seeking the best reading tutor for your child in Manhattan? Number one, try to understand what your child's challenges are. Do they have dyslexia or another learning disability? If so, they really should work with a dyslexia specialist. Do they have ADHD? If so, they should work with someone who specializes in ADHD. You may also know that your child struggles more with decoding or sounding out words, or maybe their weakness is with reading fluency or reading comprehension. Try to really understand what your child's needs are and then look for a tutor who specializes in that particular area. Number two, try to find a tutor or a tutoring center that specializes in using evidence-based techniques. It's really important that, especially if your child is struggling with reading, that they don't work with just a generic traditional tutor who might have different lessons each time they come or maybe just help them with homework, but that they really use a specialized evidence-based approach to teaching. In particular, if your child either has a language-based learning disability like dyslexia or is really struggling with reading, the Orton-Gillingham method is really considered the best approach for helping students build their reading skills. And this is for many different reasons. First off, it's very structured and systematic. It starts with where your child is at and then builds upwards from there. And it constantly spirals back and integrates previously taught concepts as new concepts are introduced. It's also multisensory, which helps for information to stick in your child's long-term memory. What does multisensory mean? Well, it means that rather than just, say, working out of a workbook or listening to a teacher, we engage multiple senses simultaneously: the visual, the auditory, and the tactile kinesthetic modalities. This might involve multisensory tools like colored sand, magnetic tiles, shaving cream, mini whiteboards, all as part of a structured, systematic approach to teaching reading. And it's also very much diagnostic and prescriptive and truly individualized to your child's needs. Meaning there are some kids that need a lot of time on a specific concept or lesson and maybe less time on another concept or lesson. With effective Orton-Gillingham tutoring, we're able to truly individualize the instruction to work at the pace that's best for your child. Next, you want to look for a tutor or a tutoring organization that starts with an initial assessment of your child's needs. How else would they really know where your child is at in terms of their reading levels and in terms of their struggles without doing that initial assessment? So it's really important that an initial assessment is done prior to the start of tutoring and that an individualized instructional plan for the tutoring lessons is created. You want to know where your child is at now and what the plan is for addressing those areas of weakness. Next, try to find a tutor who your child connects with. Having that personality match is so important. You want your child to try to enjoy these sessions, enjoy the person that they're working with, because the more receptive they are, the more progress we tend to see when the child enjoys working with the tutor. And finally, ask about communication. You don't want to be left in the dark about how your child is doing. Find out about how they communicate any progress to you, how they keep you in the loop, how they fill you in on perhaps exercises or work that you can do in between sessions to further help your child excel and develop stronger reading skills. Reading affects essentially every aspect in school. So the earlier you can find the right tutor for your child if they're struggling with reading, the better. At EBL Coaching, we specialize in providing individualized one-on-one reading tutoring throughout Manhattan and the surrounding areas, both in person at our learning center, at the home, as well as virtually. So contact us today to see how we can help your child.